Blessed love, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Blessed Love podcast. Greetings from the Coach Corner.
Yes, greetings from the Culture Corner. I am Iguniami. Yes, and good to be here with another podcast. And I think we have something a little bit deep and interesting today. Right?
Yes. So we're going to talk about shadow work and self-awareness. This is all based off a song by a Christian group called Casting Crowns. And the song is called Waiting on the Night to Fall. And, and Mama had wanted to talk about this about 2 weeks ago. This particular song, and she can just talk about how she came to do an episode on this topic.
How I came across this song actually. Yes, I don't know, I had it in my playlist for a long time and just wanted something kind of calming to listen to, and I listened to it for a few days well, and the last song on the album, when I listened to it, it sounded spiritual. He was, the guy was actually singing something that I think opened up my eyes. So I was like, well, I have not heard a Christian and a Caucasian Christian song with that theme, you know. And the theme actually was waiting for the night to fall. It's a inner spiritual thing as far as you understanding who you are, knowing and being aware that there are things within that you need to take a look at, because those things can be affecting your life. So it's self-awareness and also shadow work. And they're one and the same, shadow work and self-awareness. So today, I felt that song was on point and, was worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so you wrote the words. She wrote down the words to the song. She gave me the words to the song to read. And, when I read it, it didn't catch me then. And then she sent me the song on Amazon, listened to the song, and it didn't catch me then either. Mm-hmm. But then when I read the words as the song was playing, then it was like, okay, I can dig it as deep. And this morning, I was playing the song again and listening, again looking at the words. Mm-hmm. And, looking at the words of the song. And as it was going, it made me write down a couple of things. I wrote down the dark side of you, it made me think of that. Balancing both good and evil in everyone. It is present in us all, and you must acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Or you will fall victim to.
You will fall victim to it, of course.
You will fall victim to.
Mm-hmm. If you keep your hand on it, it will not time out.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, is that the beginning?
Yeah. The first.
Oh, about the okay. Mm-hmm. There's an old man living in the back of your woods tonight. You forgot he was there, but you've never slipped his mind. Mm-hmm. He's living off the scraps you never knew you left behind. And as the sun goes down, he rises with a smile. Ooh, missed that part. He rises with a smile. He's waiting on the night to fall. The old man's coming to call, but you don't see the writing on the wall. He'll never step into the light. No, he's just biding time. And while you slumber, he's gonna come and take it all. He's
Yeah.
waiting on the night to fall. It's like, ooh.
Yes, the first part of the verse, right? And that was
To my,
I didn't really take note of that line either.Id the first.
there's an old man living in the backwoods. You forgot he was even there, but you've never slipped his mind.
Mine, right?
Keep going.
Yeah.
He's living off
The
scraps.
scraps that
You never knew
you
you
left behind. What are the scraps? Do you think is you're right? You see how that is like the scraps that you never knew you left behind. You know, the scraps are right. The scraps are all of your traumatic energies, all of your
Fears
all of
and
your fears,
insecurities.
everything. You know, you're moving forward on with your life, but you have all these things that you need to take a look at and throw away the scraps, get rid of the scraps, so there is nothing there for anyone else to feed on.
'Cause you might have-
any negative
You might
spirit.
think you've gotten over it,
Yes.
but you haven't.
Yes. They are hiding in the shadows. You put them in the back of your mind. You know, you're not really paying attention to it. You
Right.
don't, you
You're like, yeah, I'm
like you
past
said,
that.
you
I'm
feel like
good.
you're over it. But then again,
It's
you
there.
might have gotten over some of the things, but you might have left some things behind. And when you're doing shadow work, you have to really clean out the whole closet. You can't even leave the cobwebs in there, and those are the
Right.
cobwebs, really.
Right,
You know.
right, right.
Yeah, and that is shadow work, being aware of everything. So that is something you have to actually go in and do. It does not clear up itself. All of your bad experiences, they don't just go away. They come back sometimes even, and when they do, you feel like if it's happening all over again.
Right.
Right? And those are the negative then energies that he would feast on. You know? Right.
Oh, yeah. You never knew you left behind. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then as the sun goes down, he rises with a smile. Doggone it. Doggone it.
Yes. And that's what it's telling you too. He's waiting for the sun to go down, right?
Right.
So of course,
Because at
he is-
night it's dark
Yes.
and, it's like,
yes, and then
you know.
too, and that's when all the freaks and bad
When the
things
bad
come
things
out.
come out at
come out at night. So, and he is there waiting to see whatever he can catch, and it could be something as simple as you don't like sleeping in the dark. You just.
right.
But you're not paying any attention to it, but you're not turning that light off at night, or you want a little night light, or
That's the big
or something.
indicator.
Fear, and fear is one of the big ones, that comes back to haunt you all the time. Sometimes you are very high even in your spiritual life. And sometimes there is just one thing that it doesn't matter. I mean, that one thing that you have to work very hard at getting rid of, So that kind of spiritual work, shadow work actually, is deep. You have to dig deep and wide to catch everything, to keep yourself safe from that negative energy. without you moving all those things, your frequency can't rise. Everybody, talks about, oh, well, frequencies and you have to be at a certain level, certain frequency.
right. Frequencies
So
to attract
that
and all that kind of stuff
right,
like that.
how you're going to manifest
Right.
and all these things. Those are the little things that holds back your manifestations, so to speak. You have to be clear, you have to be happy, all these different things that raise your frequency.
So, Ma, is that why you going to Moan next month?
No.
You don't think so? I think based on what you just said, it seems like, just that one thing.
Oh, no.
Because remember when we went to New York and we were at the church and the lady, after she said, hey, hi to you, she was asking you when you going to go mow. Like, it's just something that you have to do. And then you said to yourself, okay, I've been kind of putting it off and this is that and the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In order for your frequency to go to the next.
No.
No, why not? Because you just said that. Because you're trying to go, you're trying to.
No, but that has nothing to, have nothing to do with the frequency of,
Well, not the
my
frequency,
frequency.
but I think, I think you having to go moan next month is a part of the process. Like you got to go do that because you've been needing to go do that.
Yeah,
but you just been kind of pushing it off.
But the only difference is reason and purpose. It depends on why. And it wasn't that what you just said. When that question that you just asked.
Well, not the frequency part.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Yeah, not the frequency part.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were saying you could be high in your frequency, but it's just that one thing.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't that one thing like that for me.
Okay.
No, I can tell you, but I don't want to tell the whole world why.
Well, no. You don't have to tell the whole world now. I was just saying,
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. No, well, that wasn't it for your thing, but I'll tell you why. I'll give you the why, later on. Yeah, no, it's not that, No. And two, even with that, and as you said that, it is that sometimes you may think that you did catch everything and you didn't, So that is why your shadow work, these are not things in spirituality, you do not stop. You don't stop. School is in session every day. Every day, everything you do, every walk you take, everything you see has something to do with your spiritual life when you're there. So, it's something you work on all the time. I think, yes, there is a time when, okay, you conquered everything. Yeah. You know that. You would know when that is the time for you to move on to another level. So, but it's shadow work and awareness. And really, you're the only one that can fix that.
Fix it.
Nobody can do that for you. Right.
You get you a little help. But it's really
but that's basically up to you because it's between you, I should say, and your higher self. Because your higher self, which is you, but your higher mind self, that the self that is at the frequency that you yourself need to be, or the other part of you, need to be. And so you would know when you still have scraps hanging out there.
Right.
You know, because sometimes those scraps also is not even from this lifetime. You might have bring some stuff in with you, and a lot of us did from past lives. So it's as deep because you're going to work on this life,
Right.
you know, but then you're going to run into things that you didn't know. That's why I say it was deep listening to the song, because I myself, like I said, I know I've done a lot of shadow work. But when he said that, you scraps that you didn't know you left behind, that's like a signal. It's a prompt. Check. You know? Check. And with that is a asking, you know? Then you ask. You ask your higher self, you ask your creator, you ask the Most High, show me. If I do have these scraps, show me, you know? And there is no time that you ask a question that you don't get an answer to. Sometimes the answers, of course, they always come in ways that, you know, you wouldn't think of. So you have to be, again, aware. That's why your awareness is for you to catch that. That's what it is, you know? Yeah. So, like I said, it's just an everyday thing. And anytime something comes to your attention, like that song that this same song that we're talking about right now, it's because something within me needed to hear that.
Right.
Right? So,
Especially at the particular time it did, because you said it been in your thing for a long time.
years.
Oh, wow.
Years. Even before my mom passed. I download that in Trinidad.
What?
Since Trinidad.
And you never listened to it?
Never listened to it. You know? So everything in its time. See? So it made me go a little deeper in my own self. You know? And I started checking me. Because when we talked about it, when I talked to you about the song, I was thinking, oh yeah, I think people need to hear this.
Right.
You know? But then the voice in the back of my said, people, you need to hear it too. What about you? Are you checking to see if you covered all those past things? Yeah. So I had to now go back to my space, my altar, where I go to alter myself and fix myself and ask those questions. Is it something that I need to look at? You know? So I did that. And a lot of things came falling out. But it wasn't bad things. It was things that I knew, but I didn't give it the value or the attention then that I needed to. Because sometimes just because you know something does not mean that you embody
Right.
what you know.
Right.
You just say it, you just know it. If somebody says it, oh yeah, I know that. But did you embody it? Is it part of your ideal?
Right.
You know?
Know that.
Right. Oh, yes. Exactly.
Right.
Just like that. So yeah, that was, it was for me also, very, very strongly.
And you know, that is so crazy, and well, not crazy, but so because of the fact that you had it all this time. And at this point in time, it was just like, you know,
Yes.
now's the time. Okay.
Now is the time. Yeah. And that's why I said things come to you in it's funny how it happened, you know? Sometimes it's as quickly as, I was just thinking about you, and you called. synchronicities. But then sometimes it takes years to unfold. You saw it, but you didn't pay no attention. Something within me must have made me download it,
Right.
but I wasn't aware at that time.
Right.
I was caught up in my own things. So I just never paid it any attention. And it's the same thing about the Sophia Code, the book. I downloaded it a long time ago, and it just popped up. And I was, and I'm curious, where did this book come from? I didn't buy this book. I'm seeing it in my Amazon audio books. I'm like, I didn't see, and then it pops up on the screen like, read me, And I was like, okay. And I listened to it, and I was like, oh my God, where this book, you know what? I said, wait, somebody must have
read your mind or something?
It just felt miraculous because I know I didn't have this book in my, you know what I'm saying? That was my thought. But we do things and we forget. So then I had to bring myself down and say, Joan, you probably, bought that book and forgot. Because when I start buying books, it's like, yeah, this one, and I may not read them. So but trust me, I could have sworn God put it there for me just to read it. So we got to the scraps in the back of your head that he's feeding on, right?
Yeah, he's living off the scraps you never knew you left behind.
Right. And what was the other line?
To my right after that, or and as the sun goes down, he rises with a smile. He's waiting on the night to fall.
Right.
The old man's coming to call, but you don't see the writing on the wall. He'll never step into the light. No, he's just biding time. And while you slumber, he's going to come and take it all. Waiting on the night to fall.
Right. So he's basically saying again, okay, he's saying, I'm a shadow. Because he will not step out in the light. You know what I'm saying? Because then if he steps out in the light, of course, then you might become aware that something is there that I need to deal with.
Right.
So again, it says shadow work.
Shadow work.
Yeah.
Yep. And waiting on the night to fall.
And yes, and
he can probably fully present himself.
Yes. And
yeah.
At night, then is when, sometimes even you yourself, there is your dreams that could be, that he can, really have his play at that time. Could be your dreams, could be something in your home, you know what I'm saying? And, simple things.
More powerful.
Simple things, yeah.
Usually at those times you're alone.
Yes. And you're alone. And then your thoughts. Because if he's in your head, he's talking mess to you. He's telling you things that, you fill out the application for that job, but I don't think you're going to get it.
Nope.
He wants to keep you on the lowest of vibrations that he could. So he's telling you things that really, and so that's that there again, if you're not aware to put that voice, that's where he said, you have power over me, but I know you're not going to do it.
Right. He knows you have the answers, but the truth lies dusty on your shelf. And the sword that you could slay him with has become an ornament and nothing else.
Exactly.
You could put him back down in his hole in the ground, but he knows you never will. He's been around so long, you got used to the smell. He's waiting on the night to fall.
Yeah. Right.
You know what? I also, who I thought of, well, no, it was just funny. No, not funny. It was just I don't want to say coincidental, not even the word.
because there's
the
no
timing of
Yes.
yesterday. What was it yesterday? What happened with Kennedy?
Friday.
What happened with Kennedy? And then he was down here, and that's exactly what you told him. Because we know,
Yeah.
you know your grandson, I know my nephew, but his shadow, and you literally told him that other person, the good and the evil, is two, could be a couple, one, two more, but that person is
It's there
running
to,
amok
He's there to ruin your
in the
life.
daytime. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he is there to ruin your life. He's not there to do anything good for you.
Nothing good for you.
So once he tell you to say something to your classmates,
right.
you know, are you gonna do it?
Right.
And as long as you're doing it, then he's in charge.
He in charge.
He's in charge. And you don't know he's there, and he's being in charge all the time, and you just doing
whenever he
stupid
wants and
stuff.
popping up, you know, then he's the Kennedy
Or
we know. Then,
every opportunity, you know,
Yes.
he's gonna jump in.
yes. And
You
then
know,
just
and-
totally taking him on a ride he don't want to go on, making him pay more than what he thought he had to pay. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying those things because it's like the next while you're feasting at his table, he'll tie your hands and numb your mind. He'll take you farther than you want to go. He'll keep you longer than you want to stay. And it will cost you more than you ever thought
You'd pay. Yes.
He's
Yeah.
waiting on the night to
He's
fall.
waiting. He's waiting. And it's not like, okay, he's waiting, but his wait is just moments. He's waiting for the moments in your life that he could chime in and mess it up. You know?
Turn you this way.
Yeah, yes. And that's the same voice that tell people, well, you know, things are so bad. Maybe you should just kill yourself, you know.
Right,
That's the
right,
voice. That's the thing.
Right.
Because the longer he stays with you, he gets stronger, you get weaker. Because he's sucking on your energy. Your energy getting lower and lower. So he's getting big and you getting small. And after that, you know, you
It's
could
whatever he
you could
wants.
lose. Yeah, you can lose it. You can lose it. You know, and that's when he comes and takes it all. That's the end of you. You're no good to yourself anymore, nor to anybody else. You know? So that voice in our head needs to be put in its place.
place.
Yeah, it's like I was saying to him that, you know, yes, we all have our demons, but your demons need to be chained and be in, you know, you have to hold the reins and control whatever that is. I don't think it goes anywhere because sometimes you might need your demon. You know, you might need him for you to get mad and to
Right, right.
really save yourself from a
save yourself,
situation.
defend yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
But it must be under your control.
And then also part of the balance, just to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got to have
You got to have that.
the both sides.
The balance,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
you know the wood. Nothing is good and bad anymore. Everything is that balance. But if you need to use your demon, then that same demon now becomes good.
Ooh.
The same demon becomes good. You know, so that's why, you know, it's being said now. There's no right or wrong way. There's no right or wrong way. I had to balance that for a minute. You know, and I think we did that. I did that on a blessed uprising. I remember, and I said, yeah, there is no right or wrong way, but you can only make that statement if you are functioning on a certain frequency. But if your energy is low and you functioning from low vibrations,
Yeah.
Yet
That's
for
a-
you,
that's a
things,
dangerous
the
statement.
duality is running your life.
Right.
So for you, yes, there is good and bad, right and wrong. But for someone that has gone through and handling all of the dark sides,
Got it under control.
then they're good. They're under control. And that's when the thing is you must not let anything or anyone sit on your throne. This is it
You
here.
said that too.
This is your throne. It's up here. This is your third eye. This is your awareness. This is how you see. So if somebody else is sitting up here, they got the bird's eye view,
Right.
and they're doing whatever they want.
Right.
You know?
Directing all the traffic.
Directing all the traffic, all the mess to you. So the word today is do your shadow work. Get you an altar, put it up, and that's where you go and leave all your scraps, trash,
Words, doubt.
fears. You can name them. You can name them. And then you want to find out those that you don't know the name of. What is it? Whatever it may be, show it to me. Because then you are safer. Because if the old man continues to stay with you, he's actually then, he's not only in this house, he's also in your house. So he can bother the kids,
The dogs, the pets know you
the
there.
pets, right.
Because they'll get to barking.
Yes. And climbing
They
up the
barking at that
walls.
old man.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So, and that's the reason for actually burning your incense, especially the frankincense and myrrh, that cleanses the air and cleanses just the smell of that, keeps him in his place. And that's why he's saying you have the swords and sword, you have the sword, but it's like an ornament,
It's an
on your
ornament now.
shelf. The swords are the words and swords.
Or like for me, the altar. But I don't go to it too much.
Yeah, you know.
Gotta use it.
You gotta use it because that's what altar. That's why it's called an altar. Your words, but sometimes some people are walking prayer. And that's how I pray most of the time. I have to be really troubled to trouble my higher self. I'm always saying, well, we're not separated. We're there. I know you. I know who is in charge of me. My I am presence, me, yeah. That's in charge of me. That's when you have taken it and you embody it. So when you embody it, you don't have to always, but there are things that are going to take you to your altar. There are things that may happen that you need that extra help. Because as you become, then in your higher self would be able to handle the smaller mundane things like the guy in the back of your woods, the guy that's climbing up your walls at night, the one that may scare the kids because they hear something or something like that. And you will have the ability, if you are working not only on your shadow self, you're just working on your awareness of things, because nothing happens for something has to happen for something else to happen. But you have to be aware and be about your wisdom, be about your learning, be about your knowledge. It's a full day's work. It's work that you have to put in. If you don't put in that work, you're going to be left wanting, And I think we are coming to realize now that really, without that aspect of yourself, which is your spiritual self, you cannot have that life.
Right.
I don't care how much money you have.
Right. Right.
You're just going to be, you know, a
empty
very
shell.
yes.
Just there, but not there.
But not there. And
You
you have
know,
to have
it all, not
you have
happy.
to have 50 people around you for you to be able to feel okay. You know, you won't go to sleep every time it's a party in the house because you just need these people. You're taking care of Tom, Dick, Harry. Oh, yeah, y'all come and hang out by me because who are you?
Right.
You know, everything is false.
Right.
Right. So happiness doesn't live there. You know? So meditation and altar. You know? Meditation and altar. Because when you meditate, that's who you meditating for and about, your higher self. Because, of course, higher self knows everything. You sit quiet, and I think when you through with that 5 minutes of being silent, after you get up and start moving about, something's going to come to you.
Something's going to get revealed.
Something's going to come to you. It's just one of those things because you created the space for something to happen. And it will, because that's the way the universe works. You know? There's no such thing that you would go there and you get nothing. If you get nothing, then you got more work to do.
Right.
It's like you say, keep moving or keep going or whatever.
Keep going.
Keep going. You know? Yeah. So, what else did he say?
Yeah, okay. So that last thing was it. That was like the last main thing. Then he goes back into, you know, the old man's coming to call. You don't see the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
Never step in the light. He's going to bide his time. And when you slumber, he's going to come and take it all.
Yeah. He mentioned feasting at his table.
Right.
Yeah. So which means...
While you're feasting at his table,
Right.
he'll tie your hands
and numb your mind.
and numb your mind.
Right. So that's another aspect of it, you know, because you are then keeping company with the old man. You know, you and
Okay,
him-
because you're feasting at his,
His
table. Not he in your spot. You know, he not at your table. You at his.
And which means they're sitting down and they're cutting deals. You know, they're making deals. They're signing contracts. And when you sit there and you sign contracts with the homeboy, you know, then that's it.
Tie your hands and numb your mind.
Tie them hands and numb that mind. You ain't even know what you do. You're no longer controlling yourself. That's the end of it. That's, you know, it's over then.
Yes, it does.
Because you didn't catch him when he was eating the scraps. Now he wants all of you. You know, you come and take it.
And you tell me, you know, come on.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Let's talk.
Talk.
My friend. You
Hey,
know,
got a deal for you.
I wrote a song about it. Yeah.
I'd like to hear Here It Goes.
Yes. You sign that and you get everything you want.
Right.
You know? Signing
in
your life
return-
away. Yeah. In return, you would pay more than, you know, than you ever thought
Yeah.
you would pay. Because nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
No. And it's I remember when I found out even becoming spiritual or becoming a Christian, or because I think it started it came to me at the point when I was a Christian per se, and I realized it's like, to get to heaven is not free.
Oh yeah, you got to give it. You
Took-
got to get
There's a lot of things you got to do to get there. You know?
give it up.
Yeah.
You got to give up a lot
Feed
of
the
things.
poor. Be nice.
Do a lot of things.
Do
You
a
got
lot.
to give a lot of things.
Yes.
Up. Give a lot of things and give up a lot of things, and
Exactly.
you know, and you got
Yeah.
to be okay.
Yeah. You still have to do something to get it. You know? So
Freedom is not free.
that's not free. You know? So I really felt that song hit
Right.
on shadow work really deeply. He touched a lot of different things in every verse, in the different aspects that the whole thing can go. So you know, when you listen to the song, some part of it is going to, you know, come to you that,
Right.
no, wait a minute, you know,
Right.
maybe this is not happening, but something else is, you know. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that really is a great song, and is you know, the fact that it's like you said, like it's a Christian song on top of that. It's
It's a
like
Christian song. It's a Caucasian group. You know, where did
But-
that come from?
but pow.
Where did that come from? So I'm like, you know, for some reason, when you think of those, when I do, I can't say anybody else, but when I think of things like that, maybe because I'm from the island, I would think only black people from the islands, New Orleans, and all these places know and understand these things from even growing up, you know? So I had to kind of think about that. I say, well, you know, I got white folks that grew up in the country, and their grandmama, and there was always that old lady living back in the woods, and she's making medicines and honey and
Right.
all these different
Right,
things.
right.
So it's
They
this-
do. They have their version of it too.
They have it. And it's really, if you think about it, it's only one energy. That energy is all over. We don't have a special one and they got a special one. Those energies are doing the same things because that's what they do. It doesn't matter culture, color, where you live. You could live under a light. He don't care. You in the light, but he not because he's inside of you. It's nice and dark in there, you know. So it was just a little surprising to me, you know. And if you check out the whole album is like that. It has things like that. Most of the songs can, you're like, oh, you know.
Okay. And the album is called Thrive.
Thrive by Casting,
Casting Crowns.
Crowns. The thing is, too, what I would like is for us to go back to making songs, you know, or writing songs then that help us navigate life. You know, we had soul music in the 70s, and that helped couples navigate life. Nothing is perfect, but when you hear a love song, you just want to be in love. You just, you know what I'm saying? There is something that it gives to you, and it speaks to your soul. You know, that's why it's called, you know, soul music. You know, so they were speaking to our souls. They were giving us current events, everything that was happening in the community, the neighborhood, country, wherever. We got to hear it in the music, you know. I think I had talked to you also about Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm saying Earth, Wind, and Fire was so long ago. And they sang about the dawning of Aquarius since
Oh, oh
And
yeah,
we're
that
in,
song.
and we're in
We're
that
the age
time
of
now.
Aquarius.
So, it's the songs that you could remember what was, they're telling you way back then that this is happening. You're young, you're singing it, it's what's good,
Right, right. But you ain't really
But
understanding what.
not until, no, I said, but wait a minute. When the moon is in its seventh house and Jupiter aligned with Mars, really?
Yeah, I remember you said that,
Yes.
and you was just like,
Then peace will
we
guide
were
our
saying this back then.
planet.
I had no.
And love will fill the dawn. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And we're in it now. And everybody is coming to that space and that place. So look how long ago we were preparing for it, because we also had the knowledge of it. And I wonder how that came to their mind to write that song.
To write the song.
Because here we are in it today. It's approaching. I don't think the dawn of Aquarius is here yet, or Aquarius, it's not here yet. They said it's maybe when I'm dead. I don't know. It still got some time for us to get ourselves together.
Right.
So basically, this is what it's about, like right now. Get yourself together.
Yeah,
get that
yourself
shadow
together,
work done.
get
Get
your
that
shadow-
awareness done. Get yourself an
line
altar.
Your chakras and get
Yes.
ready.
Know your chakra. Know yourself. Get it
Get
all
higher,
in.
so, so you'll be
Get
okay.
yourself an unk. Whatever. And understand. I am absolutely at this point about the feminine energy that is here right now. I can't say it's coming in anymore. It's here right now, and it took me some time, because again, everything is balanced, and it takes you, when you hear something and you jump on it, it takes you some time to really level it off and get the truth of it.
Yeah. Why?
Because I'm like, yes, the women this, and the women are that. Oh, Father God, oh no, Mother God. You're like, So it took some time before I had to come to the conclusion you still can't throw Father God away, because,
Yeah.
the
Together as
balance
one.
and the oneness.
Together as one.
Yes. So boom. So I had to say, if I say Father God is okay, I'll say Mother God, following it, So
Or if you only say one, it's okay.
it's okay
It's
too.
okay.
But it took a moment. So when you go to prayer, say something. Who am I talking to? Father God, Mother God. And where we are now in this space of all this openness and frequency and learning, it could get confusing, because every day is something else. It's something new. Because there is so much information, so much things where they all seem real, right? Okay, every speaker is speaking truth, and at some point you have to just, pull back a little bit,
Right.
and experience what you need to see. You
Right.
can't absorb everybody's
Right.
point
Everybody's
of view.
everything.
Yeah, because even though we are all one, we are individually one.
Right.
We just make up the one.
Yeah.
So, and everybody's special and have their own work to do. So, and I know for me, I am all over the place, and that is something that I had to pull back from, because all my spiritual growth in coming up, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm never in that one stable place. So if I didn't learn anything, I learned that. You have to Even though I wrote that in my book, but still, that's not embodying it again. You know, because I wrote that in my book. I know it, but still, you can think that what you're doing is good.
It. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yes, and this is what I'm doing. It's almost the same as getting stuck. You know, in a repetitive thing. You know, oh yeah. Oh, I'm not stuck in the Christian church. Oh no, I'm not stuck in the Baptist church. I'm not stuck as a Risha. I'm not stuck as a Rasta. But then you're stuck.
Right.
In no choice.
Right.
You
Right.
just-
And that makes you say, well,
you're like,
what are you then? I mean, because you got to be something.
You got to ground yourself
Right.
in something, right? And that, you know, so that is another thing as far as awareness is concerned. You have to be aware of the little pitfalls
Right.
on the journey.
Like
There
if
is-
you're, you know, stuck somewhere, or you're repeating a pattern, or, you know,
yeah.
procrastinating, or, you know, getting sidetracked. You got to be aware.
You gotta be
of all
aware.
those things,
Right.
you know.
And yeah, as much as you're aware, and that's when you're doing your inside work too, as far as awareness is concerned, because you get to hear it. You got to hear it in your head. You get to hear it. So you have to be aware of what you're hearing. Sometimes I just have to say, still, I'm saying, I know you're kidding. You're not telling me that. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you telling me to do? You really, you
tried it.
You're trying me. They will always try. They'll never leave you alone. I feel they will always. The Christ, he was tried, and after he went down and did his 40 days of fast and prayer. Soon as he got up, who met him first?
Well, I don't
The
know.
devil.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Soon as I'm
sorry, man. No,
as soon as he got up, he was tempted.
Oh, dang.
You know, and he had to then pull out his sword and cut him off, slay him if he can. And I think he must have slayed him. He know not to come back to me. You know, that was his sword. His sword was his words. Every time the devil said, you know, he was like, oh, look at all these cities. If you bow down to me, I will give you all of this. You know, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that come out of his mouth. And, you know, then he started throwing him words. As he threw him words, he threw him back, you know, words. And he realized that, okay, I can't get this one, you know. I have smaller fish that I could fry. You know, this one too big.
You're big.
Right. He's a big fish. You know? So, yeah, that comes with, when you're aware, then you don't have to listen to that voice. But
Right.
that does not mean, you know what I'm saying, that the
It's not
voice
there.
is not going to come back. When they think you're sleeping, all in your sleep, they're talking, whispering in your ear. You know? So, shadow work and being aware. I could say it 10 more times, you know, because it's so important for us to be aware of everything that happens in our lives. Because if we understand there is no mistakes, there is no coincidence, things don't happen just like that. You know, everything happens for a reason. You need to know what that reason is. And that reason would show itself to you if you say to yourself, I wonder why that happened. Simple as that. That should not have, why that happened? I know it happened for something, for a reason. What it is I needed to even learn from that. You know? And I don't leave any stones unturned. I don't care if I bend down and bump my head on the cupboard, I'm like,
Right. Did I forget something?
What
Did
is
I not
it?
do something?
You know, what is it? You know, because too, as a child also growing up, you're not aware what your parents doing or your grandma doing. You're not aware of it. But when you think back, and I think back that if my grandmother spilled, like if she had water and that water spilled, she would say, oh, the spirit wanted some water to drink. You know? Food fall, oh, the spirit wanted some of that food. It's never like that plate fall for no reason or the water spill for no reason. It's always because the spirit wanted to share, which back in the days you didn't eat without sharing with your ancestors. That's when we did really ancestor worship. So if onto today, if they're opening a bottle of rum, they are gonna give the spirit the rum first. Pour the rum on the ground, pour some water. So while they drink, the spirit must drink too. So that was the way we stayed in touch with our ancestors. Now we are coming into calling our ancestors back in again, you know? And it is, I just think it's important. It's important because I think something I was listening to, and you know, I know about my ancestors, I would talk about it or whatever, but again, we talking embodying the whole concept of what that is.
Oh, maybe we can do a podcast about that. You do a podcast about that?
Yes, yes. You know, and I think it was a man from, I think he's from Ghana. It's either Ghana or South Africa, and he was talking about the ancestors, and he was saying that it's a chain, you know? It's like the old people used to sing, may the circle be unbroken, you know? So the chain, the link is when we link back to our ancestors from generation to generation to generation. That link must not be broken, but see, it was broken from our 400 years experience, you know, so a lot of things we lost there too, you know, so that's why, you know, it's good to call them back. It's good to link up. Right. Link up with the ancestors. Maybe they got something to say or do, you know. We need all the help we can get, I think. Right. You know, we need all the help we can get. So, you know, and so that's why we're here, sharing. Because I think, you know, sometimes we hear things and say things and then we don't get the fullness of it. So, because when you embody it, what it really is, then it's done. That's when you could say it's done, you know? Because it's like when I heard about the link, it was like light bulb came on, you know? And I was like, that makes sense. Now I can see why we need to link back to our ancestors, you know? So you became aware. Anytime the light bulb comes on, that's awareness. I can see, you know? So.
Well, we're going to do a episode on ancestors. Because I think, like you said, it's very important.
Yeah,
very
that's important also. So, on that note?
And on that note,
yes.
yeah, so Casting Crowns is the group. Thrive is the name of the album. Waiting on the Night to Fall is the name of the song.
Yes.
That we spoke on today. So
yeah.
Please check it out if you get some time. Listen to it. Think about it. Pass it on. Feel it. Because I feel like once you do listen to it, there's no way you can just be like, oh, just another song. You know?
No. No. If you're unaware, it's just another song. Don't even bother to download it.
Yeah,
Don't
if
even
you're
bother to
unaware,
get
I
it.
don't even think you. I don't even
You'll be
think
done
that
right.
would download it
Probably
anyway.
wouldn't even be
So,
listening. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Yes.
right.
So this is for family, tribe, community.
Community.
Yes.
Yes. So on that note, we'd like to wish our family, tribe, and our community a blessed uprising. We wish you love, peace, joy, and abundance.
Now go and conquer your day. Blessed
Blessed love.
love.